We're joined today by John Price, Managing Director of Richmond Vanadium Technologies. John, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dave.
Firstly, the vanadium market. For those who don't know the market well, how's the supply-demand looking?
Yeah, historic supply is really about 140,000 tonnes per annum of vanadium product. So it's dominated by China, Russia, South Africa and Brazil. They make up the lion's share of the currency supply side. Historic demand's always been in your spanners and your construction steel, your specialty alloy steel. But what we're seeing is that the growing demand into the future is coming from the vanadium redox flow battery and its place in the grid scale energy storage systems for, as a part of our energy transition.
Can you talk about that battery? It is clearly commercially being rolled out extensively on a global basis, but is clearly changing the supply-demand curve in the favour of the vanadium price.
Yeah, so the vanadium market for the battery is about 80% of the growth is coming from this battery. So it is in mainstream use, it's fully commercialised around the world. We're starting to see them being adopted in Australia. And the vanadium batteries themselves are a large liquid state battery. So it's complementary to the lithium batteries and other battery chemistries. The good thing about the big grid scale batteries is that they are safe, they have no thermal runaway, so they don't catch fire, they don't explode. The electrolyte itself has an infinite life, so it's fully 100% recyclable, scalable, and has a full depth of discharge. So we're talking about a battery that's very, very large and essentially goes in the grid, stores all renewable energy and takes power off the grid when it's not being used and gives it back to the grid when it's needed at peak times.
Now, talking about your project, the Richmond Vanadium project in Queensland, tell us about it and how advanced is it?
Yeah, it sits halfway between Mount Isa and Townsville in what they call the Northwest Minerals Province. So it's 1.8 billion tonne resource. It's the largest undeveloped oxide vanadium project in the world. We're currently in bankable feasibility mode. We have a reserve around 460 million tonnes at our Lilyvale project. And what distinguishes it from other projects globally is its very, very shallow oxide resource. So the ore body starts at 2 metres below the surface and finishes at 25 metres below the surface and runs for about 50 kilometres. So we've got a great opportunity to actually mine it, concentrate it. We want to get to about 1.8 to 2% concentrate at Richmond and then make high purity vanadium in country, for country. And that's really the vision of RVT, is focused on getting all the way down the value chain. Often pre-feasibility studies like ours put the concentrate on a ship and send it offshore and brought it back 1,000 times the cost. We want to do this here. We've got great state and federal government support, and so our feasibility study will be completed in December 24, and we want to be mining in 25 and producing our first electrolyte grade product in 2026.
And the project is developing in a very important time with the Australian market in particular, and the Australian government, as you say, state, federal and local government supporting an advancement of the critical minerals industry?
Yeah, so the critical mineral strategy has been released by the federal government. Queensland government have been incredibly supportive, not just talking the talk, but they've committed over $5.5 billion of money going into copper string, common user facilities being built in Townsville to assist with the technology to get this material into product. So we've got a lot of government support, and it's for us, it's all about let's not ship concentrate away like we do a lot in this country. Let's get all the way down the supply chain. We can make concentrate, product, electrolyte and batteries in this country, and we're working with our first battery partner, which is Thorium Energy. They've got an electrolyte licence and a blueprint to build batteries. They're the first Australian battery maker. We invested some money into them to grow them into that megawatt hour scale, and it's going to be a really exciting future. So essentially we're trying to create a new industry from scratch.
Globally significant project, aligned to the Australian government's drive in this area. Exciting times ahead for the company and its shareholders. John, thanks for your time.
Thank you, David.